Let's see. Hey, that's what. No, this thing's ridiculous. All right, there we go. That's live now. That's how it works. All right, we are. You were the other Andrew. I don't think I sorted that out. And David doesn't have a wrench. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. We can't let people just be flying around here without wrenches. It's inappropriate. David, you should have had one a long time ago. And we have fixed that. It's good to have you guys here. Steve, Mayor, David, and Andrew J. So yeah, Andrew, um, was it you that bought a rent or that bought a T-shirt from me? Because if so, thank you. You rock. Let's see here. Everybody's just saying hi right now. But my chat is like way behind, so you may have already said something and I just can't see it yet. Oh, we got more people coming in. I like it. So, today we're talking about good ideas and bad ideas. Thank you so much, Andrew. I'm really, really grateful. Guys, we are at 3 out of the 11 minimum that we needed to get them printed. And we have about 1 week. 1 week. And so what I decided to do, if you look in the video description, now's the time. Sorry, Andrew, you just missed it. Starting from today, it was going to be 9 a.m., but we'll just do that 9 a.m. Central Time until 9 p.m. Friday Central Time. All shirts are $3 off, meaning you will get a $3 rebate. Andrew, I might just give you one too. Who knows? I might just be that cool. All I need is to have a valid PayPal set up so I can just PayPal you the money. But yeah, if you buy a shirt today and it goes for 20, you will get a $3 PayPal rebate if you have that set up properly. So, but like I say to all my folks that come out here, all my viewer friends, my bear friends, I never expect anybody to buy anything that I've got. I just, you're all, I love all y'all. You guys helped me get this going, got an audience started for me, and I appreciate that. I'm like staring at the computer when I should be staring right here. I keep saying I need to put like a red box around the lens of the camera, so that's where my eyes go. Or better yet, have the camera like right the heck here, and then I look at it better. Yeah, the biggest thing that I hope for is if you can't, if you're not in a position to financially support channels, you know, if we have something going on, share links. I share links to, what am I talking about? Steve's stuff, to Nimmer's stuff, to Owen's stuff. I share links to Mayor's things from time to time when he's shredding, right? Gotta love that. Some great clips going around. Captain Cutler put out a hilarious clip about Owen trying to cut down on the swearing. I was dying so much, guys. Cracking me up. Mm. So, how is everybody tonight? What's everybody doing? Let's farm out some comments. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's made some great clips as far I've seen. And I always love it when people are willing to use their skills to be flippin' hilarious. See, that's better now. I actually look at the camera since it's in front of me. Cool. Yo, was just in the hangout. Oh, were you? Captain was, or you were? What's up, Steve? Oh, were you were just hanging out in the hangout too? I missed that. See, here's the bad thing about this tripod right in front of me, because now I can't see what people are saying. Oh, that's cool. That's a good thing. Hangouts can be fun. I mean, there's some interesting conversations I've seen come up. Hey, Debbie. Good evening. Good very evening to some of you guys. Oh, goodness. Pardon me if I'm a little Hey, Steve. Sup, brother? If I'm a little slow, definitely tired. This land of the rising sun is, uh, let's just say it's been wonderful, and I'm enjoying the visit, but I'm ready to go home and see my beautiful lady. Mm. Mayor, you rock, dude. You're super awesome. Um, yeah, if you guys, that's what I was saying before Debbie came in. If you happen to share my T-shirt link with people out there that you know in other areas, non bear related areas as well. Ooh, Mayor, you have an idea. Tell me your idea. I want to hear you say there right here. Get some interest in this chat. An idea, right? You gotta say it right. An idea. I got some idea right here. Hmm. Let's hear your idea. Lay it on me. What's happening? He's typing it probably. Um, yeah, just a little bit longer, and I'll be back home with my beautiful lady and my 3 dogs and my 4 wonderful kids. I just spent a good hour talking with them while they're at their mom's house. Oh, dude, that's awesome! Yes, shout out to promote favorite channels. That's a great idea. You know what? I need to do something similar because there's been so many great channels that I've been inspired by. Many of you are here, right? Mayor, you're here. David, I've seen some of your videos that I enjoy, um, and they're always interesting. Or am I mixing it up? Maybe I'm mixing that up. Um, you've got. Hang on a second. What am I talking about? I need to know what the heck I'm saying before I say something. That's usually a thing to do. Know what you're saying before you say it. It's a happening thing. Yeah, not videos in your channel. Videos of hearing you on. Yeah, it's David Walsh that's got one. Yeah, I was thinking of seeing you in Hangouts. That's what I was thinking of. No, what am I thinking of? Veritas Spare has some interesting clips that he puts up. I like the one he did of Owen playing a chord progression. He's talking about. I made a comment on it because it was really interesting to me. But there's this video in Veritas Bear's channel that was interesting. He put up this clip of Owen for about 25, 30 minutes or so, and Owen's just talking right at the front about his favorite chord progression. He's like, I like this E minor going to. You got ideas too. I want to hear your ideas, David. Um, Owen's doing this E minor chord, and he goes to. Well, I gotta think. It was a C. Excuse me, C major, and then he goes to. I have to think. Um, so I'm gonna say it wrong. Let's see here. You know, Analog Kid's one of the best of all time. Analog Kid was one of the best Rush tunes. I'm gonna sidetrack on that for a minute because I know I was talking about this chord progression. I'm gonna come back to that. So if you're not a big Rush fan, cool, go check this out anyway. If you are a Rush fan, you know, like when I was in my teens, I went through this phase of like Rush greatest hits discs that I had, and I'd take them everywhere. And I remember going down to Galveston. My mom's folks rented a house on Galveston. Meet Cutter, what's happening? Good to see you. Glad you could join us. That's awesome, man. Guess what? Welcome to Wrench Life, dude. Or dudette. I don't know which. I'm assuming. I assumed your gender. Anyway. He did, David. You're absolutely right, but it's worth it for a Rush deal. uh, so, yeah, I had all these 80s hits on one of those discs. And I remember I had my first CD player was this big Sony boombox, right? And took this thing down with me to Galveston. We stayed in this house right on the beach. And it was that Rush Greatest Hits album that I was playing constantly, you know, in my room. Plus, uh, the Liquid Tension Experiment album. I think both one and two I had copies of with me, and that was the soundtrack for that whole summer. Were the Rush album, or the Rush Greatest Hits, and the Liquid Tension Experiment volumes one and two. And if you don't know Liquid Tension Experiment, you're gonna get an earful of it. Like I'm gonna play some in the thing right now because it's worthwhile. We'll get to the good idea, bad idea stuff because that's gonna be funny as heck. But I like sidetracking on a little Rush and Liquid Tension. So, first off, here's Analog Kid Rush. Watch this. I'm like sick with it. Probably gonna hear it. Well, I know because I got the volume turned down, so you won't hear Jack. Share and copy. Bango. Bango. Paste. Boom. Enjoy. Hey, Old Bear, welcome. Guess what, Old Bear? You're a mod. Everybody has a wrench here. Man, it's great to have new bears in here. I love that. Yeah, LTE was mostly like the drummer, guitarist, and eventually the keyboard player from Dream Theater. He wasn't right away, but he became. Um, so that's Analog Kid. Now I put that link in there so you guys can feel free to rock out on that. Then Liquid Tension Experiment. What do I want? I think By Accident. This was my favorite. By Accident was such a good tune. Well, I don't want the live version. I want the album version. That's what I need. Maybe this is it, for all I know. Okay, here we go. Copy. It's all y'all. Well, I said copy. That means I actually want to copy it. So, got to put one in there. Alex Lifeson is one of the best guitarists, guy from Rush. He's very unique in his style, this rhythm lead thing that he did. A lot of guitar players are like, oh, he's okay. I mean, they're thinking of like Joe Satriani, and they're thinking about Steve Vai, they're thinking about Joe Pass, or they're thinking about other insane guitar heroes. So those are all great, but Lifeson had a style that I just loved. I know it was progressive, and yet it was still like very melodic, where you could connect to it in a regular song format that we were accustomed to in typical pop Western music. So it bridged those gaps. Like Rush stayed in some of the pop format, but then threw progressive stuff in it. It was awesome. Not progressive in terms of political, although they are progressives, but just the music goes places that your typical pop music doesn't. So the timbre of the music overall has a broader sound scope to it. There's a lot more going on than you're typically going to hear in your typical pop song. It's just so much more complex for the ears to digest, and I love that. Sometimes next to nothing real simple can be good, but at the same time, like, entertain your brain and engage your brain in what you're listening to, right? Really try to wrap your head around it a little bit. It doesn't mean you have to understand all the music theory. It doesn't mean you have to be a musician to appreciate it. But there's a beauty in it, you know, and I think people shy away from things like that a little bit when they don't necessarily understand it. How would I say? I've done that plenty. Like classical music, I was raised by a mom who had a background in being a classically trained pianist. You know, she had a degree in that, and she's extremely accomplished. She played all kinds of like Debussy pieces and Beethoven pieces at times, super difficult, but much more a by rote classical trained musician in that way. And so I wasn't as interested in that growing up because I didn't fully understand it. Nor was I that interested in jazz because I didn't really understand it. Not that I do now, but I think I'm more of an appreciation for it since I played a lot more classical and jazz over the last like 3 or 4 years. And I've just exposed myself to more of it, tried to understand what's happening, what the form is of the song, like why people are writing the songs they're writing. And when I can connect to that, I can get behind the songwriting process. I can get into the listening of it better. At any rate, um, yeah, 2112 was definitely fairly prophetic, Mayor. You're absolutely right. Limelight is one of the best. You're absolutely correct, Shade. So many great Rush tunes out there. If you're not a Rush fan, bear with us while we geek out on the Rush. That'll happen. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking back on the chat. Debbie, don't feel too bad. My typing is often retarded. That's why I cut and paste as much as I can. um, yes, David, that's awesome. I would love to hear 2112 on vinyl sometime. Um, I can only imagine that's got to be fantastic to listen to. Oh my goodness. So, if you're not familiar with Liquid Tension Experiment, John Petrucci on guitar, Tony Levin, one of the most recorded bass players of all time, um, in the 20th century anyway. He's unbelievable, unbelievable. Played with so many different people, uh, and he plays both the electric bass and then the stick, the Chapman stick. So it's like a 10-stringed instrument with the thickest string in the center, and then they get a little bigger, alternating back and forth outward, and or a little smaller, I should say, going outward. And so you just tap them on the frets, like on the neck of the guitar. You just tap the notes that way with both hands, and so you can play it in a totally different way. Um, and it's really fun to listen to the things Tony comes up with on the stick. He's got a different mind about it, I guess, than your typical like Chapman stick player. It's not his original, his specific area of instruments. Totally different than just playing a bass or guitar, but it's fun. Um, so, hey, Steve, you're back again. You've been in and out a few times, haven't you, man? That's usually how I am with people's streams. I've got to, come in, hear what I can, then I got to step out and get something else done. But I try to keep up with it as much as I can because you guys are funny. So then John Petrucci on guitar, Tony Levin on stick and bass in this Liquid Tension Experiment group. Jordan Rudess on keyboards. That guy was admitted to Juilliard at the age of 9. So that tells you the caliber of musician he is. Just another level of brain going into music. And then, of course, Mike Portnoy, the original drummer from Dream Theater. And it was all instrumental stuff. Really, really, really fun music. And the melodies are just soaring. A lot of the vibe from those albums was very positive. Very, it's hard to feel down when you're listening to Liquid Tension Experiment. If you can get into the style, because it's very intricate. There's a lot of like virtuosistic stuff, but if you can get into what they're doing with it, get into the vibe of some of the different grooves, it's hard to listen to those tunes. Steve, I empathize with you, brother. I'm often trying to do way more than I should be. That's the nature of being a dad of 4 kids, 3 dogs, a wife, an ex-wife, and all of that, and a cat. Let's not forget the cat. Being in the military, being a private music teacher, being a drummer for 3 different bands. But Steve, you probably keep those plates spinning like David's talking about better than I do. I suspect that you manage your stuff a little more neatly. Mine is often a bit messy, like a lot bit. Ah, man. So going back to Owen's chord progression thing that he was talking about, I want to talk about that for a minute. And I'm going to pull that up so I can remember what he was talking about. I just need to look in my history. Where was that vidya? Where would that vidya? Piano time? No, that wasn't it. Right wing SJW? Nope. Let's see. That's the Owen trying to quit cussing. That was hilarious. Where's the one that, or did he take that down? It was Veritas, right? Let's see here. Veritas had a really cool video. And just the beginning portion of it was so much fun. I don't know. I don't know where that went. Well, no, stop it. I was trying to bring up a video that I didn't ask it to bring up, but I guess I kind of did. At any rate, That's the one thing I like about turntables. Yeah, man. You can keep the plate spinning. Oh, you like that Lego tension stuff? Yeah, yeah. And they do some really cool things in that tune. In fact, you know what? Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna get to the Owen. You know what? All right, no. I'm gonna try to like do something smart. I'm gonna try to stick with what I said I was gonna do instead of squirreling constantly. I'm gonna pull this Owen thing up. Where's my history? History, because I watched it, so it's gonna be in my history. Um, which one was this? No, that was a whole podcast. Let's see. That was me. Oh, that was Will. So, where the fudge? Because I just saw that today. It can't be that one. Can't be that one either. Must it have been what I didn't think it was? It might have been. No, it can't be. It's not it. It's not it. Not it. Not it. There we go. Piano melodies. Bingo. It was a little further back than I thought. Now I can turn this up. There we go.
Over Moonlight? Okay.
There we go. I'm going to backtrack on this just a little bit. This is my cheap way of showing you what I'm looking at on my computer screen. Real cheap, but it gets the job done.
That A minor, F major, C major, E major.
That's the chord progression.
Story. That like those A minor, F major. C
Yeah.
major,
I'll copy that.
E major. With that bass,
Here you guys go.
you can do so many cool melodies.
Paste. So you guys can get at this later. Yeah, this was so good. And he just did all kinds of stuff with it. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this, but Veritas put this up. Go check it out. Yeah, A minor, F, C, and G. It's real simple. Or it's C and E. It's E at the end, E major. So what they would call that in music theory, like I talked about this a little bit, and I left a comment discussing some of the specifics of that. Hey, puppy, there was a Dalmatian that just walked by. This hotel, they let you bring dogs, and it's super cool. Such good dogs. I went into depth a little bit on how to understand that chord progression if you look in the comments of this video. And so what it is the progression, so you can use it in any key, right? He's in the key of A minor, right? And it sounds great in A minor, but let's say you wanted to play it in, I don't know, G minor or D minor, right? Start from a different minor key standpoint. You could do C sharp minor if you wanted to, as long as you know how to form that natural minor scale, right? And then you can build chords from it, right? In the ways that you're supposed to. I kind of give some explanation of how that goes about. So you're using a minor one chord. In that case, is the A minor. It'd be the first chord of the key of A minor. And then you've got a flat 6 chord, right? A flat major 6 chord, really, because it's going to be a major quality chord. But I say flat major 6 because the way I usually do lead sheet symbols, I'm comparing it to the major version of that scale, right? So instead of it being, like, how would I say it? You can assume that you're in a minor key for this section, but instead I'm going to say assume that you would be starting from the basis of a major, and then I'm writing my lead sheet symbols out that way. So instead of doing a 1 chord, you're doing a minor 1 chord. So it'd be, in this case, like the A, C sharp, E is your A minor triad, or your A major triad. So to make that minor, you take the C sharp and lower it to a C, A, C, E, right? You get your A minor. But then you go up to the 6th of the A major scale. The 6th of A would be C, D, E. Trying to think. I should know this. Be F, right? So then you go into that. How would I say this? Yeah. What am I trying to say? trying to think of how I was going to phrase that. In the key of A major, there's no F. It's an F sharp, right? That's usually what you would find. But we don't want the F sharp because we're not thinking from the major. We want the minor triad. So we start with an F natural, not an F sharp, right? And we get that triad. And I lay out all the notes for all that. And you get the three chords starting at the third note of the A major scale. But in this case, we're thinking from the minor, so you're going to take that third down a half step. It's not going to be C sharp. It's going to be C. No, C sharp would be the third of A major, but we want the C natural in this case. So that's why I call it the flat 3 chord. And then you got the 5 chord for A, either A minor or A major. It makes no difference. It's going to be a D major chord. Excuse me, that's incorrect. An E major chord. That's what I meant to say. At any rate, it's fun because now you can take that chord progression, right? Hey, Trevor, good to see you, man. Why are you not modded in here? Like, you've been modded. I did you a long time ago. You should have been modded. Well, now you are. Welcome to Wrench Life, Trev. The world is ending. But when everybody's a mod, you know, we don't have too much trouble, I think. Shade, I totally understand. It is Greek. If you go back into some of my earlier streams, I talk about how to understand how you build a major scale, right? I just take some time talking about that. Same for you, Old Bear. If you ever want, if you have a desire to learn about it. If you don't worry about it. I just share it because it's what I do. I do this stuff and I teach it. I try to let people know how they can break into the language of music in the most basic way possible and understand the language of modern Western music, right? Exactly, Andrew J. Everybody is armed. Everybody is ready to defend themselves fully. So, when you know everybody's carrying a wrench, you're less likely to be whacking yours around. Yes, dude, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Trevor. That's super sick. I love it, man. Yeah, you go back to some of my other streams and I talk about how the basic way that you can understand the fundamentals of music theory. So you can understand how we form the fundamental type of scale called a major scale. And then from there, when you know how to put together a major scale, you can then figure out how to build chords, right? And usually from any type of scale, we're taking the first, third, and fifth notes, right? So once you know that with any scale you create, or with any chord you create based on any major scale, you use the first, third, and fifth notes. To make other types of chords, you just alter that, right? Say like C major scale, I've talked about this before. You take the first, third, and fifth notes of C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? It's your 7 notes of the C major scale. But you take the C, the E, the G, first, third, and fifth notes, right? And you got your chord, right? So that's your C major triad or 3-note chord. But you want to make that a minor, well, there's a formula for that. You take the third, you lower it down a half step. Keep the same letter name, but you change the quality of the note to show that it's now changed. So you got now C, E flat, since we took that E and lowered it a half step, to flatten a note or lower it a half step. That's what that means. To sharpen a note or raise it a half step, that's going the other direction, 1/2 step on a piano or guitar or whatever instrument you're on. And it's these simple little things that help us understand how musicians do what they do, right? And when you figure out that it's not nearly as complicated as some people try to make it, suddenly you're like, wait a minute, I can understand like how to make my own music. I can figure out like the patterns, because all this is pattern recognition, simple pattern recognition. And once you see, like Owen does here, instinctively a lot of the time, that he's got this simple 4-chord pattern he's messing with, I thought it'd be cool for people to see how they could put that in any chord or any key whatsoever. So they wouldn't just have to pick an A minor and an F major and a C major and an E major. They could now do it, say, from the C major scale and have a C minor chord as their first chord, and then go down to an A major, and then up to an E major, and end that on a G major, right? And that could be their progression, right? So there's all kinds of options, all kinds of different options that you can mess with. I might have said that wrong just now. I thought, yeah, it's a flat 3. It would be, so let me restate that. It would be a C minor, a flat major, then an E flat major, then the G major. That's how you would roll that out. So that's transposing what Owen did from the key of A major to C major, or A minor to C major. I'm screwing everybody up. Owen did what he did in the key of A minor, right? I just transposed it to C minor, right? And I'm talking about major scales a whole bunch, but you can understand the minor scale better once you understand the major scale. It's like changing just a couple of notes to make it a minor. It's real simple. At any rate. So, yeah. I thought it was cool. You want to find out more, go check out that link that I threw in there. And you can do a drum meets meat on describing stuff. He's right, but your visual description to the layman in lacking. Yes, I don't have a keyboard with me now. If you go back and look at previous videos, Meat Cutter, that I've put out there, I have either guitar or keyboard to demonstrate those things. So you can get visual descriptions of it, but I don't have those accessible to me up here in Alaska right now. I'm out here for military training, so I'm away from my stuff. But when I start doing casts back at the house, once we're done here, back in Illinois, then yeah, we'll get to see some more music theory and we'll do cool stuff. The bottom of the shaft, a phlegm. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, dude. That's awesome. Yukon, you're a crack up, dude. I love it. I did it in B minor and realized I've been working on progressions like that, resolving on the minor and harmonic minor scaling over it for a few years. That's awesome, Major or Mayor. That's great. See, and now through different people like converging on that one little bit from an Owen video. Now we're sharing that, we're showing our different information about it, and now people are getting stronger in their ability to understand what they're doing and maybe do more stuff because they see the pattern, right? So understanding patterns, understanding how to communicate them in some sort of effective way to people who may not be musicians, right? All of that practice, and maybe you are, like Mayor, right? All of that practice is like helping us interact with each other and other people better. You know, that's the bigger picture behind why I love to share that stuff. Yukon. So much fun, man. I love hanging with you guys. All right. So I entitled this thing, right? Good idea, bad idea. If anybody used to watch Animaniacs on Fox years ago, a cartoon that was like an after school thing and was hilarious, right? It was a Warner Brothers deal. They would have this segment on there called Good Idea, Bad Idea. Shoot, I can't even think of it. Good idea. Playing a piccolo in a marching band, you know, and you see this dude marching with his little band, and it's this little skeleton-y looking cartoon they always had. And the Warner sister, right, Andrew? He's just popping away in his little piccolo, walking in the parade. Bad idea. Playing a piano in a marching band, and he's just trying to hold the piano and playing while he's going. It just crashes all on top of him. It's too funny. It's just ridiculous stuff. Good humor, like that kids and adults could enjoy. And Animaniacs was also educational. I loved things like, they would have songs. They would do that would. They had a song that would talk about every single country in the world, named every single one. They had one that named all the state capitals, you know, went through all things like that. And this is great because it's zany, like Looney Tunes type stuff, but it's educational and it's like great education and humor, right? So much of humor that I learned as a kid was from watching Looney Tunes and definitely from other similar things like Animaniacs. So good. And that was cool because they bridged that gap between adult and kid humor so that adults and kids could actually enjoy that together. They stepped on some lines a couple times. They were really close. Like they got one bit where there's this teacher trying to teach Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, the three main characters, trying to teach them English or something like that. Like You got to go to school. We make sure you got an education. So this teacher comes in and she's like, today we're going to talk about conjugation. It's like, this is a family show, you know. This is inappropriate. Silly stuff like that. Albania to Armenia. Yes. I'm so glad that people recognize that stuff. It was the best. Use a condom, but when I thought, when's the next time I'm going to be? What in the world? I missed that, Mayor. I didn't see what was going on. Conjugation, yes. Conjugation of like verbs, you know, the English thing. Although conjugation can also be a term used to refer to, you can figure it out. At any rate, so they had the segment Good Idea, Bad Idea. I was going to use kind of that. That's your bad idea. I didn't see where you were going at all. That's awesome. All right, you got me. That was good. I entitled the stream that because I was thinking about choices that I make at times. And sometimes I have some good ideas. You know, I think it's a good idea that I started up a live stream. It's a good idea that I thought to play the drums. Those are good ideas. Sometimes I have bad ideas, and we follow through with them and see where they go. And it's worse when you have the bad idea and you figure out it's probably not the best choice, and then you repeat it sometime down the road because you forgot. You know, does that sound a bit like a political ideology that we have tons of reference material on that shows that it failed everywhere that it's been tried, but yet people are like, we must do this and we're amoral. We just need to care for people. I wonder. Good idea. Starting a society based on free market capitalist economics so that people can have as much freedom as they've ever had in history. Bad idea. Trying to revive socialism so that it gets utilized and puts us back into bondage like it's done in every society it's been used in. That would be an example. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, I knew I'd generate some insane stuff coming out of you guys. Cover me, I'm going in. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. That's good things. So, for those of you that showed up yesterday, feel free to go check out that stream, by the way, because I do have some video and pictures that I shared in the stream in my cheap way by pointing the camera at the laptop. Yet it still came out fairly nice. Talked about my boss and I, my chaplain, you know, the guy I take care of. He and I went on a trip, and we wanted to not spend a whole lot of money, so we were trying to figure out how we could go down to Valdez and see the Worthington Glacier, and then stay overnight in Valdez, and then head over the next day and see Denali National Park. Yeah, thank you, Yukon. They were. It was amazing that I got some of the shots that I did from an iPhone. You know, cheap. It's an iPhone SE. It's the iPhone 6 in the 5 body. It's like a small phone, and somehow it's got an amazing camera. Any Android phone that I've ever had, this is by far superior camera-wise to any other camera phone I've ever had. I just have to say it, and I'm not making any money from Apple yet. You know, hey guys, if you want to send me that Apple money, go right ahead. I wouldn't mind taking a little bit, but then again, I don't want you to own me. But maybe you already do because I use your products. I don't know. Just don't be dinguses, or else I might have to quit. Maybe get somebody else to make better stuff. Anyway, you're on a 4 meat cutter. Whew. 4S, right on. That's going back a little bit. Goodness. Apple shekels. Yes, that's what that is. So, Timestamp for the music are in the comments, so you can skip the jibber jabber. Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that. Hey, for if it's not for everybody, I do jibber jabber quite a bit, and sometimes that's fun. Sometimes it's like, okay, this is kind of getting a little long, guys. Um, cool, Mayor. Do your thing, man. Thanks for sharing. Oh my gosh. Yes, the Arctic mosquitoes, Trevor. They're insane. That's something that blew me away. Good idea. Going to climb a glacier in Alaska. Bad idea. Not taking bug spray. But that's not the bad idea I was thinking about. So I don't know how many of you have heard of the Nissan Versa. It is a so my ridiculous head had this idea that we could save the money of not having to get like a tent to sleep in or not, rent a place or something overnight. Keep the finances low, because I'm both Jewish and Scottish somehow. I don't know if I have any Jewish heritage, but I definitely have Scotch, and we're cheap as heck, that's for sure. Um, and I'm also German, so I try to be industrious. Um, but you are on the table. Am I shaking it? Uh, oh, you're telling me. That's awesome. I got it. You guys are killing me. Um, that's so funny. Um, yeah, so we wanted to not, I wanted to not spend the money to stay overnight in some place. So I thought, I know, we could totally like put the back seats down in the car, and it flattens out, so we get the trunk, the little trunk space, and then the back seats flat, and then the front seats we could try to push them as forward as we can, and we could like lay out separate blankets and stuff and pillows and things, and just face opposite walls and have a spot to sleep, where we're safe from bears and everything. And we stayed overnight like in an RV park where we could park at a spot there. We rocked this. It was later agreed, and I wholeheartedly took responsibility for it, that this was one of the most failed ideas in the history of humankind. Do not try to have two men over 6 foot tall and weighing at least 200 pounds or more try to get in the back of a Nissan Versa to go to sleep for any length of time, because you won't sleep. Uh, you'll you'll be concerned that the oxygen to carbon dioxide ratio is out of balance, and you'll wake up quickly in the middle of the night trying to bust over the door and get some extra air. You'll probably bang your head on the ceiling when you do it. Not probably, it happened. Not to my chaplain, just to me. Just to me. This was all me. Um, he also didn't get sleep though. Yeah, you're gonna have wonderful memories of how ridiculous it was. But then, what's better if you don't communicate with other people in your group that are actually going out and going camping places or doing other things? You won't find out that they might have actually had a cabin at the exact same RV park we were at and had 2 extra beds available. If only you'd networked better, right? Which was my job. I should have done that. I didn't find that out. So we totally unnecessarily did this. Not only could we have saved some cash, right? We could have slept in beds. Oh, and not in a Nissan Versa. Worst idea of all time by me, by far. And I can say that, I've been through some stuff. I've had some questionable decisions in my life. That was easily top 4 of all time worst decisions. Probably not going to want to do that again. So just bear in mind, Nissan Versa trunk for a bed? No. Bad idea. Don't do it. Not a place where sleep will happen. A place where sleep will decidedly not happen. Yes, they are. Yeah, and we would turn it on. They are very cold to sleep in. Uh, Old Bear and everybody else, just full disclosure, I am that human. And that is that is the prime time for my gaseous anomalies to depart. And I have to tell you, as awake as I was throughout most of the process, I was trying desperately to not do that too often. So now I'm full of stomach discomfort. All kinds of reasons to not do this. But yeah, I thought I would share. You know, I figure it's better to just some of your failures to just live them out loud. I had a I had a band director when I was a kid, and he used to tell us, if you're gonna make a mistake, make it big, right? Just do it with confidence. It's better to be confident and wrong, because then there's no question that you were wrong, than to be timid about it and try to hide it. You know, if you're gonna be making a mistake, make it big. You know, and everyone's gonna know, yeah, you did it. But maybe they'll think you did it on purpose. You never know. Maybe it'll work for you. Yes, I don't know if they're like really beneficial to anybody. What in the world? Our big bear who art in Washington, Owen be thy name, thy compound come, thy will be done on the internet as in America. Give us this day out daily honey, our daily honey, and deliver us from soy. For thine is the little bear, the cub, and the holy arm, Amy. Who created that? Was that you, Meat Cutter? Because that is genius. That is wonderful. I love every bit of it. Yes, old bear, we all do it. You're absolutely right. I've been married 4 in my current marriage. I was married 10 and a half years in my previous, and I was a champion in both. Let's just leave it at that. But it's probably my fault. I bet you if I went like full Peterson carnivore, that probably wouldn't happen. I'll bet you his gas level has reduced greatly as well. So maybe that's something to consider. I don't know. Maybe that's a question somebody should pose to Big Bear the next time we do a chat. Like, okay, so you did your carnivore thing. Like, how did your flatulence go? Did that reduce, or are you still dealing with high degrees of flatus? Are you still invested in stock and Beano? What's going on there? Cult anthem. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's frightening but hilarious. That is so good. Has he seen this yet? I want to see his reaction to that. I absolutely have to see Owen's reaction to that. Shade. Who do you mean, Owen or Shade Bear? Who do you mean, Owen or Peterson? I wonder which one. I still haven't found anyone who didn't chuckle. Hashtag not a cone. YouTube definitely did not. And lead us not into Wojcicki, but deliver us from being Wojcicki. Debbie, welcome to the welcome to the party of being hated by YouTube. Yes, it happens. Somehow it works out for Peterson doing that, and Owen's digging it too, but he's still having his beer from time to time. Yeah, like, I guess there's fibrousness somehow that allows better passage of things. Plus, there's greases, there's fats that help. There's fats in some of those meats that help lubricate the system internally. So I guess that you still have a decently comfortable time keeping the cycle going, right? Of food and waste. It's interesting. Yeah, I really am curious about that now. What am I curious about? I forget. I don't know. Am I? Yeah, exactly. Right. JPB's or BP. His daughter and son-in-law definitely do rock that, and yeah, I'm that's what I was thinking. The flatulence thing. I wonder what that is like. Are you quitting because of the flatulence talk? Is that what's happening, Debbie? Or because of the disturbing prayer? No, you're fine, Yukon. I was thinking, because I said it too. I was thinking, you're fine. I misspell everything. Mm. Oh, man. Yeah, this is good times, guys. This is definitely good times. Um, so, yeah, don't sleep in the back of a Nissan Versa. Or, like any car for that matter. Yeah, okay, a couple years ago, I went down to South Carolina for being trained as a chaplain assistant for the Air Force. And I wanted to be a cheapo on my trip. I didn't want to buy a hotel or nothing like that. And even though I probably would have been authorized, by the government to do it, but I said no. I'm save the money. I don't need to spend money on it. I can do this more efficiently. So I sort of commandoed it, or not commandoed it. That's not the word I want. I just went super tough and said I'm just going to sleep in the car. And excuse me, mind you, I brought an entire drum set and a bass guitar down to South Carolina with me. But I had all that in the car in the back, and I had a whole section just laid out flat with a sleeping bag down and padding and a pillow, and I legit slept in the car on my trip down there. So like a 16-hour trip to get from Peoria to Columbia, South Carolina. You're burning out your own joke. You can check into this, call it you can never leave. You get in Hotel California style. That's great. You can be a bear anytime you want, but you can never leave. That wouldn't be that funny. Let's see here. I played that song too many times. That feels awkward. Let's see here. So I never said anything about naked, right? See, because I wear t-shirts, like the big drum bear t-shirt, on sale now for $16.99, now through Friday night at 9 p.m. Tell your friends, share the link for it, and that's wonderful. Don't let bears go naked, right? That's important. But no, I was not naked in that SUV. Promo code Big Drum Bear. That's that seems mildly inappropriate for your mouth. Anyway, send shekels to Big Drum Bear. Yeah, no nudity in the SUV, but bear. It's so ridiculous, but it still gets me, man. Oh my gosh, we do crazy things that we later regret. Using a car as a place to sleep. If you have to, you have to. It can be done, but find ways to not have to. One day, I am going to have an RV of some kind, even if it's a fairly inexpensive one, and I would much rather sleep in something like that that's designed for it. Yeah, even I saw these RVs when we were at that RV park that look awesome. They're just like campers basically, and so they're like a trailer that goes behind you. But then the roof, or the top part of this camper before it's been raised up, it's not like one of those where you crank it and it just raises the whole thing up and it's like a big tent. It actually has a roof that comes out like this, right? And creates a rooftop. So you have this much bigger area, very comfortable area. And then they're just way lighter weight, smaller little campers you can drag around. I think some of them actually have like stovetop and water in them if you go to a place with hookup for electric and water. Dude, a tricked out cargo van stealth camper, that would be cool and at the same time a little creepy, right? Just make sure there's windows on it. Otherwise you look like, the Chester in the neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about, Mayor. You know what I'm saying. Especially with your stash, man. It's just like you gotta play that one smart. So be careful. You gotta put hashtag not a molester on the side, I'm just saying. Yeah. Creeper. Oh, my parking lot trash. Oh my goodness. So, at any rate, good ideas, bad ideas. It is. I'm trying to think of another thing that I was going to share that was. It was a good idea. So, for those of you that didn't see, I might just throw in a couple of pictures here that I did show yesterday, but I'll just pop a couple of them back up because they're that cool. So you go back in yesterday's stream and let's take a look. See here. There's the Nissan Versa you don't want to sleep in. Let's do this. It's a good shot, right? This is Worthington Glacier. That's where we went to, and we got this close to like touch the sucker. This is melted water from that glacier coming down. I don't know if some of it is from underneath the earth as well, if there's an underground spring, because it came out like rushing out of there. I mean, it's just like insanely rushing out of there. There are also like streams, like up here, you can see like streams of other melted glacier coming down the side. That's kind of what's going on if I get a little closer right there. And there's a bunch of those all over the rock face. It was nuts. But we took this trail, this precarious trail, kind of give you a look-see. And this is after we'd been to the top of it. So, all right, so check it out. We came from up that hill, climbing up that ridge line, that skinny little ridge line. Now, that said, right, that keeps on going way back here, and then you got to climb down around somewhere in over here and come back up, and you end up right at about this point over here where you're overlooking a lot of the glacial ice over that way. But behind my head, it continues way up high, and this part gets ridiculously steep. We didn't do that because it got even narrower than this was. And steeper sloping sides. So we just decided not to do that. Camp out on I didn't see what you said. I'll have to look at that later. My whatchamajig tripod is making it difficult to read. That's what we eventually saw. That's the better one. No, this is the better one because it's got the sunset. I can't believe I got this shot with an iPhone. It's so incredible. But this is as close as we were getting on that part of it. And I wanted to keep on going up this slope here. But as you can see, like in this picture, it gets crazy high and super, super sloped on the sides. Like we should have had climbing gear if we were going to go there. It was kind of ridiculous. But still, that we got here is amazing. It's absolutely unbelievable. So beautiful, beautiful spot. But it was a good idea that we didn't go further, because that would have been pretty bad. That's the glacier looking further back. Like this is where we were. This is where I just showed that previous picture. Where'd it go? Okay, so that is, no, that's not the one. There in this picture right here. And that's kind of dark, hard to see right there. But this is from down in the parking lot, pretty much. So huge, huge expansive space. And this is what it looked like from way up on top. You start seeing the surrounding area up in the clouds. Yeah, it was beautiful. And a lot of you guys saw this already. That's coming into the area. That's what the glacier looks like from way further back down the road. Can't believe I saw stuff like that. Just incredible. But yeah, we made wise choices not to climb the glacier. I encourage you to also make good ideas and not bad ideas. Otherwise, you're going to feel like a moron, like I did when I realized that sleeping in a Nissan Versa with another man is not comfortable. And both of us were very secure in our masculineness. There was no concern about that. It's just that it's uncomfortable as fudge, you know. Not a good idea. No sleep had by any. I hear you, Mayor. My only visit out there was unbelievable to the Rocky Mountains. Just amazing. Anytime I've been in mountains. I just want to keep being in mountains. Cheap. Friction of the glacier over the mountains causes massive melt. Okay, all right. Thanks, Yukon. I did not know that. I did not know that. I learned something. That's super cool. The friction of the glacier over the mountain. So, like, but I'm curious, like, so is it that it's pressing into it, or what is it that you're saying? Because it's frozen. It's not going anywhere. But I guess is it slipping a little bit, and that's what's causing all that? Huh. Yeah, we're right next door to Yukon, by the way, Mayor. It's just to the east of us. Shaved glacier ice. Yeah, that's essentially what's happening. You can make some pretty cool snow cones out of that, man. Ooh, Alberta glaciers in the Rockies, huh? I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. Well, let's see here. At any rate. Oh, okay. Gotcha, meat cutter. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, awesome. So, way cool. I've learned a bunch today. Y'all share some pretty neat stuff. Let's see. So, I'm going to get another stream going tomorrow. I'm probably going to do another evening one because, yeah, it was not a sustainable plan to continue to get up at 4:30 a.m. over here. But I'll be back to my normal time once we're back in the States. So, tomorrow night, I'm going to shoot for one. Thursday night, Thursday I might do one in the morning. Thursday I might actually get up early enough to do one then. Yeti cones. You guys are crack up. Hey, We the People. Yeah, it's a good show. Hey, Spencer. It's Moldabear. Well, hey, Moldabear, guess what? Thanks for joining us. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share because you're a mod now. So, word. You can have people come and see you be a mod on this channel. Think about it that way. Yeah, I'm subscribed to them, Debbie. I know who you're talking about. What were you mentioning about them? Do you listen to this? What were you going to say about Patriot Soapbox? Spat on it, packing one of those styrofoam jobs. What's the best flavor of Yeti cone? I'll get it. I'm gonna go live tomorrow night. Or are you asking somebody else, Steve? Maybe I misunderstood. Guys. I am going to do another one live tomorrow night, and then I think Thursday I'll do in the morning. Friday I'm going to be in transit, so Friday may be an evening one again. So we'll figure out how to work that. I may do the Thursday one at night if we have time, but we've got to hit the door. So maybe it'll be even a little earlier. Might even be at like 9 Central Time instead of 9:30. So we'll see. And then like I said, Friday night we'll probably do evening because I'll be back in the States. Back in the continental, the contiguous 48. I'll be back in Illinois, but hemorrhoids. So if I go live for an hour at 8 p.m. tomorrow, I should be done. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I should be done. You're, Steve, you're in Texas. So, yeah, that's going to be 8 Central Time. I shouldn't be hitting it until like 9:30. So you're fine, man. Yeah, we're not gonna get in each other's way. Yeah, totally, dude. Do the call-in show, man. Rock it. I appreciate you asking. Yeah, I totally love that we can coordinate that and make sure we're not stepping on each other because I want everybody to be able to get to everybody's different streams as much as possible. Super, super cool. Hey guys, if you want to know more about hemorrhoids, go read 1 Samuel chapter 6 in the Bible, and you'll get a good, entertaining hemorrhoid story. They might say They might not say hemorrhoids in some versions, but if you get the old English, King James, it'll say emrod, and it is referring to bubblings up of the flesh that we would call hemorrhoids today. Kind of a curse that came on the Philistines for stealing the Ark of the Covenant from Israel. It's pretty flippin' hilarious how they worked that one out. Hemorrhoids. One of my favorites. I've talked about it before. It's a good story. Yeah, everybody like, subscribe, and share Pinder's stream. He does great stuff. Mayer always has some great guitar videos, and he talks about some interesting stuff going on in his life. They're great guys. Be sure to check out, I don't know if Dom's going to be doing streams anymore. He said he probably wasn't, but I haven't heard much from him on that lately. He's been busy. Obviously, y'all check out Owen's stuff as well. You should. Eric Nimmer has some good stuff to check out too. He just started following me on Instagram. That's super cool. Appreciate that, Nimmer, wherever you're at. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite part of this whole stuff, man. Check out some good videos from Veritas Bear. Check out some great videos from Captain Cutler that he posts, little clips and different things like that. Coddington Bear has been working on the bear cave, so keep up with what he's doing. Trying to think of other people that have supported what I'm doing that I want to bump up and say, yes, follow those guys because they're great. In fact, I tell you what, tomorrow, not Owen today, sing. Oh my gosh. I can't wait until somebody posts that prayer for Owen to read because I want to see that on a stream. I guarantee he's going to be dying reading that. Like, wow, it went there. Hashtag not a cult. But I think it's a cult now, right? My goodness sakes alive. Meat Cutter, that was fantastic. Did you come up with that, by the way? I wanted to know. Was that your original creation? I'm waiting to see there. Or was that something you got from somebody else? Because either way, it's awesome, right? Pretty flippin' funny. It was his. I don't want to super chat it because I'll spend like 50. Well, yeah, I hear you on that. Oh, man. It came out today on the Unbearables app. What? Oh, okay. All right. Very cool. Yeah. It was mine. It is brilliant. Spam it. So good, guys. Maybe I'll do a video where I read it sometime. That'd be funny. I'm gonna do a little clip. We're gonna have some good interviews coming, and my video editor. I have iMovie on my phone, and I try to edit videos from there. iPhones are a little different with being able to get a hold of files that I want to use for background music and other stuff like that. I'm trying to make it cooperate with me. So I've got a video doing some drumming that I did for one of the chapels up here on Sunday, and that was a blast. They had a great little Gretsch drum kit that sounded fantastic. So I just learned the songs. Like, I came into rehearsal, hadn't heard what they were doing yet. I knew 3 out of the 5. I think they did a 6th one that I actually knew too, so 4 out of the 6. But it's not like I played those every day, so I just was flying with it, and we had some fun playing music there. But I still have a video of I'm trying to mix the music with from a couple weeks ago when I played with the Jazz Jam over at the Field House. That stream that didn't work worth a crap, and you probably got like 15 minutes of stuff that was mostly me talking. You can turn on the live streams for that, but yeah, I want you to see, or the morning streams, I should say. You want to tune in for music. You want it to work, right? So we're gonna get some video of what I was able to capture, not live. We're gonna have some gigs coming up when I get back to Illinois. Got a gig coming up with the Ashley Bean Band, and I'm gonna try to get some footage from that. Hopefully a live stream. Got a gig with the Aristocrats coming up again on the 11th. We're gonna be playing at the Illinois State Fair in Springfield, and then we're gonna have some stuff coming up with, I'm getting into a new band. I should be having a rehearsal with pretty soon called 3 Mile High. Gonna go to a rehearsal with them pretty darn soon. So I live in the middle of the state, around Peoria area, central Illinois. And then the swing band that I play with, the Aristocrats, we're going to be playing in Springfield for the State of Illinois Fair, or Heart of Illinois Fair. Or it was the Illinois State Fair, excuse me, Illinois State Fair. That's different. I also must go, Debbie, so good call. We're all going to do that. Flee to the four corners as you will. Bears, thanks so much for coming out. Was it UNN Britain breaking news? Cult infiltrated by a butcher. But first, a word from our sponsor, Canadian Glacier Emerald Therapy Water. Oh man. Well, Old Bear, shoot, you hit me up on the Hangouts and let me know, man. I'd love to meet you. I always love meeting bears. It's always a blast. Maybe we'll do an interview together. You know, get bears meeting bears on a live stream. It's always a good thing. I almost had a chance to meet up with Pinder when I was in Texas about a month ago, and that was a bust because I was just so busy. Yeah, tell your friends, man. Get more bears in here. We need more folks, and share the link for the T-shirt. It's in the description. I've got 7 days here, less than 7 days, trying to sell a minimum of 11. We've got 3 down. We need to get to 8 more, and I'm going for 50. You know, the more we sell, the better it does because it supports the channel. Anything you give to this channel goes directly to supporting this. My wife and I can pay a bill that we might have trouble with 1 month, but it's going to go into building this channel bigger. So thanks so much. Engage your, see, I always forget how to do this. Engage your mind, your body, and your heart. Seek to serve the ultimate purpose. Love, bears. Have a great one.